welcome to Ladyada.
Hey everybody, and welcome to my desk. Happy weekend, everybody. Hope you're having a good time this summer. Lots of stuff going on here at the desk. First off, any news? You want me to do this review? What's up from Mr. Lady?
We got something in the mailbag. We wanted to say congratulations to our friend Janet, who had something to do with the product design on this. And I wanted some toolkits for not only home, but for office, and just like little contained gifts or things for around our house. Lady, why don't you tell everybody what it comes with, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, so this is like a toolkit. We kind of opened it, and we're going to reopen it. That's why it's like not...
It's like a cooking show. Don't worry.
This is a toolkit that a friend Janet helped work with, and they wanted to just make like a really good, like not just like the cheapest stuff and what people think they want, but what they actually want, which is tough. Actually, it's kind of what an engineer's job is, right? It's like, we have to design things, not... don't make, another carriage with a horse, right? You want to make a car. So
I want a horse.
Yeah, or whatever the phrasing is. So, sorry, let me just open this because we retaped it.
Yeah, well, that's what one does.
This is solid. Okay. So, open this box. Okay. Oh. And this is good. I've gone through many crummy Home Depot Harbor Freight toolkit. So I'm glad that
true.
I'm glad that we had a really good engineer. Okay, so first up, Allen wrench sets. Okay, metric and also imperial. Yes, you need both because historically a lot of stuff in America would use imperial. And that's great. We love America. But nowadays, if you import stuff, I think maybe stuff from IKEA, it comes with metric because like those Europeans and people in Asia and actually, kind of everywhere except for like England and the United States.
It's one thing all Americans agree on is we're just never going to go to the metric system.
We're never going to give up. But it's good to have both because otherwise you're like, you find the closest one and then you end up stripping the bolt, which sucks.
Yep.
A ratcheting screwdriver with screwdriver bits, good solid bits. So you got, looks like a number 1, a number, it even says on the side, PH1, PH2, SL4, SL5, T20. These are just the most common, and H6, so hex 6. These are the most common bits for furniture because it's kind of what it's sold for. So people who are assembling like, flat pack furniture and stuff. But of course, these are like standard hex bits. You can get replacement bits for like $1 at your local hardware store. I like that they have the ratcheting. It doesn't add a lot of cost, and it's like a nice solid like silicone rubber handle because it really saves your wrist, especially when you're like, like I put together these IKEA shelves and it's like, you're just like doing a lot of cranking. So that's cool. And then of course, there's the hammer. It's kind of standard hammer. I mean, it's good. What I like is it's light.
It has a silicone on it?
It's silicone. Yeah, they all have silicone on it, which which is really nice. But I like a light hammer because sometimes you're hammering up, and your arm gets really, really tired.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a lady. No ditch to ladies, but it's like we just don't have the same arm and shoulder strength as guys do. It also has a little magnetic nail and screw holder, which is great. You can tuck it in and then, you use this as the starter. There's a little notch here. So you put it in and you kind of like tap just to get it started and you can back. That's the hardest part is getting it nice and level and straight. Comes with a classic drywall installation kit. It doesn't have a lot, I think they had to be reasonable about it's not a component kit, it's a toolkit, but they do include stuff. And then what you really liked is these simple foam knee pads.
I complained in advance because I looked at, the other kid or I was tired or whatever. I'm just like, oh, you know what? I should email Jen and be like, I've been using knee pads since we had a toddler because you're always going up and down on your knees. And just like, my knees are great now because I just decided, you know what? I'm going to just be like a skateboarder with my toddler and assume that I'm going to just be like Tony Hawking into the wall every once in a while. And it's true.
And compared to other people around our age, dads some, parents some not, how are your knees?
So everyone's getting knee surgery except for me right now.
Not us.
But I know what it is when you're standing up and you lift something over your head and you twist and you move your knee. That's when it goes. And so just I don't do that. When I have to lift a 30-pound toddler, I will go down on both knees and like we're not. It's a very stable base, and I'm not pulling all the way up. So, anyways,
guys, protect your backs and your knees and your hips.
Here's my feedback. I might do like a product designer series on the blog and see if Janet wants to contribute. You know, it's not her company, so she would participate in. I'm curious, like what the brief was, all this stuff. I think it's cool that they put the brand Tinker all over it, but I could probably. I would say like maybe you could keep Tinker on it, but then do a quote. But just, you have to make sure it's not going to be someone get canceled later. So like do like something about empowering or something about the tools or something interesting or like a fact or who knows. Yeah. And then I think all black matte, all black.
Yeah, well, here's the thing though. Everything in our house is black, so I like that this is kind of like a mossy green.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to paint it black.
Nice. It's like neutral.
Yeah. So. Like, as you can tell, I really don't have. I think it's a great little toolkit, and the fact that it's from someone we know. What else are we gonna do? What the competition for tools is like? It is a street brawl with no rules, where you wake up and you have the tools that you're gonna fight each other with. It's like and so I think that this is a hard one, and just to see an attempt. This is a good thing for the kids going off to school. It's good for parents. We have nothing to do with this, Snarky Snarks, except for we like our friend Janet, and we're just like, I will get one because I'm going to use it. And so check in a month. And if the whole thing falls apart, I'll say it. But if it's good, I'm going to say it too.
Here's the thing. We don't get paid or get anything for talking about or reviewing products.
That's right.
Like one of the cool things
Right.
about Adafruit. And here's the thing. If my friend designed something and it kind of sucked, and this has happened before, not naming names, I kind of just wouldn't review it. I would just sort of tell them like, hey, like, why don't you go for another rev?
This week.
Yeah, I'm really busy. I'll get to it.
And that's the thing. It's like we can do this for each other, and we can support each other who makes products, and we can get the word out. We can talk about how it's like to make things with tariffs and stuff. So this is hopefully one of many. But congrats, and Tinker is the brand. I think I got it from Target. Okay, Ladyada, take it away.
Okay. All right. So this week at our desk, did a bunch of stuff. Trying to get as much stuff done before November when I take some time off. It's good. It's a good motivator to sort of, it's like some people are like, I'm going to nest and like renovate the house. We don't have to renovate the house.
Yeah.
Instead, I'm renovating products.
Yeah.
Doing product design. Okay. So sorry, I'm just checking my list to make sure I get it.
Checking her list.
So a few weeks ago, we did, can you go to the overhead? Because I'll show off these eats. Oh. We talked about these grayscale and tricolor e-paper displays, and I talked about like updating the LUT on these and doing the code for this, which is it's actually kind of an ASAP display, but it's kind of a medium thing. One thing that's really fun is what's good is that this is not being broadcast to everyone and also all the folks who work with Adafruit, because I can say without hinting it that Scott, who's back 10, who's working on CircuitPython, I might have him add CircuitPython support to this because he really likes e-ink displays. He doesn't know though. Don't tell him. But right now it's Arduino support. We'll add CircuitPython. So what I did this week is I did more displays because I was like, I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Like one thing LLMs cannot do is work on e-ink displays. It's actually it's really just like a human has to do it. It's just so weird and crummy and terrible because there's like really no data sheets. There's no documentation. You're really just kind of like cobbling together like very badly documented examples from like STM32 and getting them to work. So some other displays that I got working this week. This is a looks like, it's like a 2.3. It's a 2.66 display. It's kind of like not 2.9 and it's not 2.13. It's in the middle. I got a monochrome. I don't have the tricolor. I don't have everything of everything here, but there's a tricolor version as well that I got working. This is SSD 1680. So this one also can do kind of the so-so grayscale. This I have both the tricolor and the mono out. This is sorry, what is this? 3.7 inch. This is 3.7 inch. So I kind of like this, because if you compare it to like the 1.9, it's like, it's about twice the size, but it doesn't seem too big. It's like credit card sized-ish, you know, it's not enormous. Also available in tricolor and monochrome. And then I got to like the big displays. Luckily, these were actually all like kind of the same chipset. So like once I did one chipset, it wasn't too bad to do the rest. Although I think it was the 5.8, which is this one. One of them had, the SRAM was organized differently than every other e-ink display ever, which is like totally just part of the deal. Is every other display has like an LCD, the way that the X and Y are sort, like how it takes X and Y data and displays it is the same. So once you get the chipset going and you tell it I'm writing to RAM, you're kind of good. This one had a totally different, not illogical, but it had a swap between the X and the Y, and it wasn't like a rotation. It really was like the logic was inverted. So I had to make like a core change, but like again, you know, we'll just like have Scott fix this in CircuitPython. It's a cool display. And then I have the tricolor version as well of this, like what was it, 5.8? Yeah, 5.8 inch. And then finally, I got this like cool, huge 7.5 inch display. This one I think is like 800 by 480. So it's actually like, you know, VGA. Like you could like do VGA type stuff. It's slow, but you could do it. What's nice about all these displays is they have that standard 24 pin. I mean, it's like one blessing. Okay, except for not always. So one sample I got, which I'm still working on, I haven't quite gotten it yet. It's a 24 pin display, but the pin is flipped. So if you look here, this, compare it to this. See how the pins are upside down? And it's not like, oh, I just flipped the display. The pins really are, like if you see pin 1 is over here and pin 1 is over here, the connector is upside down. And so it doesn't work with the standard connector. So what I did is I got, you know, a 24 pin cable and this little adapter, and this flips the order. So pin 1 becomes pin 24. The only thing that's a little, you know, I'm also figuring out is this, you know, not only is it inverted, which is kind of annoying because it means I have to, you know, really clearly document this, but also I couldn't quite get the example code working. Like obviously something's happening because it's like, hello, but it's like cut off, it's this full screen. And like sometimes the other parts sort of flicker. But this actually has 2 chips. If you see here, see how there's like 2 chips? So one's a controller and one's a peripheral, and you have to like configure. So you see, it's like they're kind of like, it's like that kind of updated all of a sudden, but then like this didn't. So I have to figure out why. This and like these have like 1 chip. So this extra chip is causing Saurus, but we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out eventually. Because it's like it was sold, you know, it's I've seen this used in other projects, so I know that I'll find, once I find any code that works, it's good. It's just I got to figure out like what is the addressing for the controller and peripheral. And then lastly, I think it's still in my box because I didn't actually get it working, is I also got some cool quad color displays, but you know, again, like I think these were used in phones or something, and they wanted it to be a hotbar display. So it's a 24 pin connector, right? You can see 1 through 24, but it's not an FPC like plug-in. It's a hotbar, different pitch. So I've got to make an adapter. So if you go to the computer, I designed a little adapter board.
Let's see, where did the computer go for? Oh, you know what? I have the Great Search computer. I have all the ones except for one just standalone computer. So you know what? I'm going to do that right now. Okay. I have to make a new computer.
No, that's fine. You do that all.
Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. Boop. Okay. Your computer.
Okay, so I made a little adapter where I can solder the connector here, and then it turns it into like a standard pitch. So, you know, I might have to just solder this on when I test these out, and then if I sell them, so that it works with all of our accessories. Okay, cool. How are we doing on time?
We are up to 15 minutes, so you probably want to start getting ready for Great Search.
Yeah, let me just show. So I'll just quickly talk about it. It's not routed or anything, anyways.
Oh, you want to show this on the computer?
Yeah. Just give me a second. Oh God, where was it? Okay, so I'm working on this synth, which is sort of inspired by the 20th year anniversary of Zoxbox. I kind of took the fruit jam, and it's not a fruit jam. It's just like I was like really lazy, and I was like, well, I don't want to like start over with all the like PSRAM and everything because I do want PSRAM. And so it's like, what is this? This is like 8.5 by 4 inches, and it's got 6 potentiometers at the top. 1 volume potentiometer here, 3 rotary encoders. The original Zoxbox had like mechanical switches, which I like, but I thought like maybe rotary encoders would be a little more useful. And then kind of that 1 octave layout with a couple of like mod buttons. So again, it's like, you know, I looked at the Zoxbox and I sort of like adapted it. I also put a screen here because I kind of liked the OP1 design from Teenage Engineering, and they have like an LCD. And I was like, oh, that's a kind of a good idea to like show color waveforms and stuff, and like, you know, what the pots are doing. And it's got like an RP2350. Although I might change this to this for the A instead of the B. I don't know how many pins I need. It's totally unrouted. This is just me like messing with the components. I'm gonna add. There's gonna be more ports here. I'm just kind of like, I just got audio and USB and like some knobs going. And it's very, very early, but I thought it would be fun to show because, you know, it would be fun to finish this this year because it would be, you know, it's a 20 years since we released the Zoxbox.
Cool.
Yeah. So is that, okay, so let's get to the great search.
Here we go.
Where in the world is that part I need? The Great Search with DigiKey.
The Great Search brought to you by DigiKey and Adafruit. Every single week, Ladyada takes you on a journey, a tour, to find what you're looking for on digikey.com. Ladyada, what is the Great Search of the week this week?
Okay, so this week I'm working on this synth project, and you know, I can pull up the original page.
You could.
For the original Zoxbox, you know, we had this PCB. It was all through-hole components because it was a kit. At the time, it was like, well, I don't have a pick-and-place machine. And the potentiometer I used, because, you know, I'm not going to use exactly the same parts, but I was like, well, you know, what was the part I used? Because, you know, I spent a lot of time at, you know, 20 years ago, I spec'd the components. So we used this family of potentiometers. Like all the potentiometers had to be the same height because we had a panel and it wasn't like panel mount. The panel like sat on front and it kind of floated over the components. So these don't have a bushing. They don't have a panel mount bushing. They just had a very long shaft. So this is a linear 50K pot, and it's been discontinued. And I was like, well, you know I did a really good job back then, but I'm going to have to like respec pots. So the good news is that the design I'm doing is all digital because I just don't want to do an analog project anymore. I'm kind of out of that. And also I think it'd be fun to like show off SynthIO. So these can be any type of pots. They don't have to be logarithmic or reverse logarithmic. They can be linear. So let's go and find some pots, and maybe we'll find something cool. So going to rotary potentiometers. There's 680,000 options available. Some are side, some are panel mount, some are multi-port, some are little trimmers. You know, let's find something that's similar to that style that I showed, where it it fits through the PCB. It will be through hole because mechanically you really need to have through hole in order to have the mechanical strength. Sorry, where'd it go? Trimmers, yeah. These little legs, they go through. So they're called board guides or like snap-ins. So let's start with, I only want one pot. So it's called a gang within the pot. And I want it to be active. And the thing is that pots come in like, you know, variety at 1K, 10K, 100K. Every pot that's available is available in 10K linear, basically. Like I've never seen any, unless it's like some totally freaky potentiometer. So just to make it easier to do search, because there's 680,000 varieties, you know, here, I'm going to just look at the 10Ks, because if I want to like change it to be 100K or 5K, you can do that, but start with 10K. So let's start with that, and then I want, you know, normally stocking. So that already gets me down, you know, 1/1000th of the amount, you know, only 690 options. And one turn, and I want top adjustment, but I'm also going to pick up this little dash because some might not be categorized, and like top is the most common. So it gets me down to about 190 options. And then let's see what we got here. So, some good options here. I like these. I do want to get rid of like some of these that are not PCB mount. So like I mentioned, we want PC pin with board locks. You see the board locks on the side? That's what I need for, because like, when people are really like, they're doing their techno, they're really twisting the knobs. So let's go and find PC pin with board locks. And let's select those. So it gives me about 80 options. Okay, cool. So, what's nice is that there's actually quite a bit of options here. There's ones with like, T18 knobs and flattened. And, we don't want switches. I don't think any of these have switches. Yeah, I don't want a switch. That's for like an on-off. I was thinking maybe the volume knob might have one, but just because that's often how you turn off is, you turn the knob all the way down. Oh, and I want linear. That'll also get rid of a couple because I actually don't want logarithmic because I want to do the math easier on the microcontroller. Little shorties, super shorties. Some of these are like so cute and short. Hi. Some have very, very long shafts. And as I was looking, I actually halfway down the page, I saw this and I was like, whoa, is that like a metal shaft? It's actually clear, which I thought would be really cool. I don't see them often, but sometimes rotary encoders or potentiometers, you have a clear shaft and then you can put an LED underneath it to light it or to flash to like indicate what the setting is or like how you can visually see the setting. You do have to have a clear knob, although these have a little detent. And then I found it's later used in a Korg monosynth as well, which you can look up. So this family, the RK09 family from Alps, which is like famous, known for their potentiometers, is they have them in non-clear for a slightly lower cost. But I think I'm going to add a couple of these, like, for $1.40. Having one or two of my pots be clear would be like so cool. Especially like volume or tempo, because you could like visually show the tempo or the volume. So yeah, gonna check this out. This is one of the pots I'm gonna add to my synth, the RK09 1130D62.
And that's a great search.
Where in the world is that part I need? The great search with DigiKey.
Oh, 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 oh. You've got to go. But before you go, I hide little stickers around Adafruit and our home.
Mm-hmm.
And these are some of the stickers. You can put them under these are the ones I put on your nightstand.
Oh.
But then I stole them back.
Okay.
I put them on your nightstand.
These are cool.
Yeah, that came from our hacker box.
Yeah.
One came from the hacker box and one came from, oh my goodness, I am doing a secret project that I can't tell anybody about that involves AI, Bitcoin, international espionage, using Signal, talking about encryption late at night across international lines. Is it real? Is it a novel? Is it a giant cosplay? Is it immersive theater?
It's stickers.
Does it matter? Yes. That's the show.
Okay. Do you want to show the stickers?
Yeah.
Okay, do the overhead. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. This is cute. I like this show.
I like Risky is good. Because you know what about the sticker? When you tilt it, they did it. It's like it's not a lenticular. It just looks really cool. It looks almost like Star Trek beaming. And I like, hacker boxes. Every month they have something. Not every month. Not every month. I'm like wow. But the ideas are. I like the intent. It's always playful. And you know what? Here's the thing, everybody. If you're a little playful, you can kind of get through anything because you're gonna have to do the time anyways. You may as well have fun along the way. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.